Welcome to the Chronology of Wealth, where we decode the history of money to protect your financial future. The numbers on the screen may change, but the playbook of power remains the same. Today, we are exposing a mechanism of theft so sophisticated, most won't see it until it is too late. April 5th, 1933, a date that redefined property rights in America. With the stroke of a pen, President Franklin Roosevelt signed Executive Order 6102. It didn't just change policy, it criminalized wealth. The order made it illegal for American citizens to own gold. The penalty, a $10,000 fine and up to 10 years in prison. Think about that. 10 years behind bars for saving your wealth in real money. Most Americans, trusting their government, complied. They handed over their life savings in exchange for paper money at the official rate of $20.67 per ounce. They believed they were helping end the Great Depression. But 9 months later, the trap snapped shut. Roosevelt revalued gold to $35 per ounce. Overnight, the government saw a 69% increase in the value of the asset they had just seized. They effectively stole 40% of the nation's wealth, legally, and used it to wipe out government debt. This is not ancient history. This is the blueprint. And in 2025, it is being executed again. The asset has changed, but the mechanism is identical. The United States government is drowning in $37 trillion of debt. The debt-to-GDP ratio is 132%, 3 times higher than it was in 1933. They cannot tax their way out. They cannot grow their way out. Their only option is the 1933 option, confiscation and revaluation. Enter the strategic Bitcoin reserve. On the surface, it sounds like innovation, but look closely at the language. Strategic asset, national security, mandatory acquisition authority. This is not about crypto leadership. This is the legal framework for seizure. Here is how the rollout happens. Phase 1 is the legal framework. By designating Bitcoin as a strategic asset vital to national security, the government removes the legal barriers to seize it during a crisis. Phase 2 is surveillance. Unlike 1933, they don't need to search your house. If you bought crypto on a centralized exchange, you are in a database. The IRS knows exactly how much you have. Phase 3 is mandatory acquisition. When the debt crisis peaks, likely around 2026 or 2027, the order comes down. All holdings above a certain threshold must be sold to the Treasury at a fixed, below market price. Phase 3 is mandatory acquisition. When the debt crisis peaks, likely around 2026 or 2027, the order comes down. All holdings above a certain threshold must be sold to the Treasury at a fixed, below market price. The people who complied in 1933 were destroyed financially. The people who anticipated the move survived. So, what must you do before the timeline runs out? First, self-custody. If your assets are on an exchange, they are low-hanging fruit for confiscation. You must hold your own private keys. Cold storage is the digital equivalent of burying gold in the backyard, but far more secure. Second, diversify jurisdictions. The US is the epicenter of this debt crisis. Looking toward jurisdictions with strong property rights is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. Third, real assets. Land, commodities, and physical gold stored outside the banking system. These are the hedges against the currency destruction that inevitably follows revaluation. We are approaching the largest wealth transfer in human history. The executive orders are signed. The databases are built. The debt is unpayable. The only variable left is you. Will you be the citizen holding worthless paper promises? Or will you be the individual who positioned themselves for the new system? History doesn't just repeat, It warns us. If you want to stay one step ahead of the financial reset, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Chronology of Wealth. Turn on notifications, because we will be tracking every regulatory move as this timeline unfolds. Don't let them erase your future. Prepare now.